Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Shivani Singh. Viewers, amidst the Iran war, India has faced its biggest cooking gas scare in years. Tensions in West Asia disrupted shipments through the Strait of Hormuz, a critical route for nearly 80 to 90% of India's LPG imports. This triggered panic. Long queues at distributors, restaurants shortening menus or shutting down kitchens, and even migrant workers heading back home. Now, daily bookings surged to nearly 89 lakh at one point, amidst rumors of shortages. The government acted swiftly. It prioritized domestic supplies, increased the refill waiting period to 25 days to curb hoarding, ramped up raids on black marketeers, and encouraged households to switch to piped natural gas. Now, oil marketing companies boosted domestic production and sourced alternative cargoes from the US, Argentina, and others. The LPG scare appears to be easing after the announcement of a 2-week ceasefire between the US and Iran. The Ministry of External Affairs has welcomed the ceasefire, hoping it ensures unimpeded navigation and smooth trade. The Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has assured that domestic LPG supplies are secure, with refineries operating at high capacity and additional cargoes, including from Iran, reaching ports like Mangalore. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had earlier criticized attempts to create unnecessary panic, stressing India's commitment to energy security through diplomacy and diversified sourcing. While the truce begins immediate relief and has lowered global oil prices, authorities are now monitoring the situation closely. Officials confirmed that there is no nationwide shortage, commercial supplies have largely resumed, and the episode has accelerated a shift towards piped natural gas, domestic production, and alternatives like biogas. For millions relying on subsidized LPG under schemes like Ujjwala, uninterrupted supply remains vital. Now, as we stand in the second week of April 2026, has the scare truly passed? Let's in fact take a look at the LPG prices comparison between India and its neighbours and between India and the world, to give you a sense of how India is actually dealing with this crisis situation. Across the globe, we had seen an increase in prices because of the war in West Asia, and India tried to mitigate the shocks of it. So let's look at LPG prices comparison. India's neighbours, we are comparing India's price, which stands at around 913 rupees per cylinder. This is a 14.2 kg cylinder, as compared to Pakistan, which is our neighbor. In Pakistani rupees, the cost was, can you see the difference? It's around 2,664 Pakistani rupees per cylinder for Nepali, in fact Pakistanis. Let's look at Nepal as well, where we have the Nepali rupees, and as compared to India, which has a cylinder at 913 rupees, Nepal was selling it around 2,126 rupees, Nepalese rupees per cylinder. So we are seeing a massive gap just among our neighbors. Let's look at Bangladesh, where a taka is there, the Bangladesh taka. So over there, a cylinder costs us Bangladesh taka of 1,341 rupees. So even in Bangladesh, inflated prices because of this ongoing crisis. Let's look at Sri Lanka, where we have the prices at 1,241 rupees of Sri Lankan currency over there per cylinder. Now let's look at a global picture. Let's look at the world, how the world is dealing with these. In New Delhi, like we have been keeping it stable, the cylinder stands at rupees 913 rupees, and in Beijing, in China, the per cylinder cost is around 120 to 140 yuan. Now, this is equivalent to 1,300 to 1,500 rupees if we compare it to the Indian prices. Let's look at Tokyo in Japan, and let's look at the cost per cylinder over there. It's increased to 2,800 to 3,200 Japanese yen. So this is around 1,600 to 1,900 equivalent to Indian rupees. So you can see the massive surge in the prices in Japan because of the global crisis. Let's look at New York now, which is around $18 to $25 per cylinder. This is also around 1,500 to 2,000 rupees of Indian equivalent rupees. So per cylinder over here as well. Even in the US, we are seeing an increase. Let's look at UK. In London, the prices are around 28 to 32 pounds, which is around 3,000 to 3,400 rupees equivalent. So obviously a massive difference in the prices as compared to what we see in India. Let's look at Paris, where the cost is around 30 to 35 euros per cylinder. This is equivalent to 2,800 to 3,300 rupees in India. Massive difference over there. People have to pay up to 3,000 rupees for a cylinder of LPG, viewers. Let's look at Spain. Madrid is seeing a cost of 25 to 30 euros per cylinder as well. This is again very similar to 2,300 to 2,700 rupees. It's in that range. Obviously a lot of difference when we compare to the world and how India is looking at the prices. In Berlin, in Germany, the cost is 30 to 35 euros per cylinder as well, and this is around 2,800 to 3,300 rupees equivalent. So even in Germany, so across Europe, we are seeing an increase in the cost. Let's look at Bangkok. We are looking at the Thai baht, where the per cylinder cost is around 450 to 500, and this is around 1,100 to 1,250 rupees equivalent to Indian currency. So in Southeast Asia as well, we have seen the difference in the prices. Let's look at Canberra, which is in Australia. Over there, the Australian dollar 35 to 40 Australian dollars per cylinder, which is equivalent to around 1,900 to 2,000 rupees equivalent in Indian currency.